Welcome to Small Talk Daily for Wednesday, September 24th, 2008. This morning we're going to continue with our Seaside tutorial, and just to show you where we left off, we had it to the point where we could put out a title for the entire blog server, but no actual posts. Today we want to address that. First thing we need to do is go to this workspace, and this is something that came down with the code you downloaded a couple days ago if you're following along. And we're going to execute all of this. And all this does is create a couple of post objects, a user object, and one of these posts you can see here I've put into the past so that later on when we have filtering it'll do something. So now we've got post objects, we've got a user object. We still don't have any real way to render things. So what we're going to do is open a browser, and inside of our browser we're going to go down to our package. And here in our package we need to go to root UI and just look at the render content on method, and remember that it knows how to render two components. These two components haven't actually got rendering code of their own, which is why nothing's happening yet. So we need to add that. We're going to start with the list UI and tell it how to render. So I'm going to add a category called rendering. And then inside this rendering category I'm going to create a render content on method. And here we're going to have a very simple little set of code. We're going to get all the posts from the storage object. And I've just got an in-memory cache for that. And then we're going to iterate across each post. And we're going to tell each post self render post on the HTML. So very much like GUI code, and it's going to tell me that code doesn't exist. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and cancel that because I've put an M there, so I'm going to change that and then accept. It still doesn't exist, but we're going to say OK. Now we've got that done, we now have to add the render post :on method. So I'm going to do that next. So here in our rendering category, we're going to go ahead and put that down. And I've just copied this over because I don't really want to bore you with the details of my bad typing. Just to show you what I'm doing here though, I have a div, and inside that div I'm giving this a class. And then down here I've got the actual rendering. So HTML strong : the title, a break, put out the post content. Notice this HTML : method, that says don't go ahead and try to encode the HTML, just put it out raw, because I'm assuming that we will have an HTML editor or just putting HTML in for each blog post, because when you enter a blog post it could have things that you want to put in yourself. And then finally when it was posted. So we'll accept that. And now that that's all accepted, let's go ahead and bring our browser back up and hit reload. And now we have our blog server. Now it doesn't look exciting yet, but keep in mind I don't have any style on this, haven't put in anything fancy, but I've got my post title and some content. Notice the content has HTML, so I've got that emphasized, posted on. Then here's the old stuff. This should be yesterday, which it is. Notice it comes in that way, is September 23rd. So it's all rendering now. That pretty much wraps it up for today. We'll continue on with this example tomorrow, and we'll start adding the menu options to give us the ability to do things like filter and add some anchors to our title so that we have the ability to go to individual posts and so on. So, hope you enjoyed that, and until next time, have fun with small talk.